What's up, guys? Happy Monday morning. It's a little chilly in South Florida. I want to talk to you today about something most people never stop long enough to confront. Um, Not goals, not success, not money, but focus. Because focus is not a productivity skill, it's more of a moral decision, right? And what you give your attention to, what you give your energy to, what you allow access to in your mind um, and your time, that's your real belief system, right? Um, and most people never consciously choose it. We live in a world that rewards being everywhere, every platform, every idea, every opportunity, every conversation. And from that outside, it looks like growth. It really does. It looks like you're growing from the outside, but internally, you know something different. Underneath, it's fragmentation. Being spread too thin doesn't feel dangerous at first. It feels exciting. It feels validating. It feels like momentum. It feels like I'm doing so many things. Look how awesome I am. And by the way, I am the king of this. So when I'm talking to you about this, I'm talking to you from a mountain of experience. It's until you one day you realize that you're known for a lot, but anchored in nothing, right? And that's when the question shows up. Am I building something meaningful? Um, or am I just staying busy and avoiding choosing something? And here's a realization that hit me, and when it was uncomfortable. For a long time, I thought growth meant expansion. I thought like doing a lot of things meant expansion. More rooms, more conversations, more audiences, right? More Zooms, more programs, more responsibility. But maturity taught me something very different. And it's crazy to talk about maturity at my age, right? But maturity taught me something very different. Expansion without focus is not growth. It's like a delusion. It's delusion. Expansion without growth, without focus is not growth. It's delusion. You're in a complete delusion phase. And delusion eventually costs you clarity, peace, and authority. Because if you're everywhere all at once, you can't create authority. And it costs you energy and it costs you peace. That clarity that you thought you had, it's not existent. So what happens next? That's when I realized that some of the things that I was building didn't need improvement. They needed completion, if that makes sense to you. So let me speak very plainly on what I'm trying to tell you right now. We are winding down the Monday Kickoff calls. We already know that. That's happening. And we are recording the final episode of the David Adam Current Show. That's done. It's been recorded and already done, right? And we are literally 1 week away from closing the K Real Estate Community, the Freedom Achiever Academy. And not because they failed. These are great programs that I spent years building. Not because they weren't impactful, because they helped so many real estate agents, not because they didn't change lives, because that was the entire goal. How many people can we help, right? But because they did what they were meant to do at the time they were created. And knowing when something is complete, well, that's wisdom, in my opinion. Knowing when to let go, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. And most people hold on way too long, not because something still serves them, but because they're afraid of what happens when they let go, right? Like, if I let this go, what's next, right? Like, it's going to hurt at first for many cases, but in the long term, was letting go the best idea? And I said something a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if you remember, it's easier to let go than it is to allow God to take it away from you. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but when something is pulled and snatched away from you, it's painful. It hurts. And I'm not interested in being known for like doing too much. I'm interested in being rooted in the truth. I want you to know me for who I am. When you think my name, I want you to know me for exactly what I do. And here's the difference no one teaches you. Width creates attention. Depth creates transformation. Width gets you applause, depth gets you respect, right? So like when I'm everywhere, it's, oh my God, Dave, that talk was great, or that speech was fantastic, or that book was awesome, or it changed my life, or whatever. You get all the applause, but when you go deep into something, it creates a level of respect because people find that authority. Width feels fast, right? When you go wide, you accomplish more things in a shorter period of time. Depth feels lonely. It feels lonely because you're alone in this. But depth is where mastery lives. That's why the most infamous and most famous and most incredibly gifted people in the world don't have a lot of friends. If you look at their circle of friends, they're all in similar businesses and they're more focused on themselves than they are on the other guy, right? You don't become a master by touching everything. You become a master by choosing the one thing you want to do. And I've talked about this a lot when I talk about mastery in business, right? A lot of people, they live in this world of failing first and failing forward. And when you live in that world, for many people, for those of us with knowledge that understand what that really means, it means something very different than what the youth is taking it and running it with and going, hey, I'm just going to fail fast and fail hard so I can learn faster than everybody else. And that shit doesn't make sense. Focus on one thing, go in hard, learn from a master so you can become a master. And give it your full undivided presence. And presence is expensive. Okay, presence is expensive. It costs you options. It costs you distractions. It costs you time. It costs you energy. It costs you saying no to rooms that you're allowed in, like rooms that want you there, and you saying, no, I can't take that on. There's a famous story about Dave Chappelle turning down millions and millions and millions of dollars. Why? They wanted him in that room. He belonged in that room, but he decided that room wasn't for him. Look at him now. The trade-off is clarity. You think Dave is more clear than ever before? I mean, he still talks about it from stage today. This season forced me to ask myself the hard questions. Like, who gets my best energy? Right? Who gets my best energy? Not the leftovers, not what was available after I went off into this width of things, but like the true, my availability, my absolute best. Who gets that? Who deserves my deepest thinking and my knowledge? Who deserves my quiet hours, my spiritual focus, my leadership? Because energy is not infinite. It runs out and attention is sacred. If you don't protect it, someone else will spend it for you. And usually on things that don't matter. And I'm like, wow, like think about that epiphany. This narrowing of creative space and you going into that creative space. And in that space, something new is being forged. Does that make sense? It's like the new space that I'm in now. I haven't stopped in my real estate world or my title world or my mortgage world. Those things still exist. I'm still there. I'm still doing that. I'm still growing those things. But all the other stuff I've turned off. Now I turned on this spark called Forged into Man. And this is not for everyone. It's a very focused, unique situation. And it's not a show, like I said, for everyone. It's not a brand with growth metrics, or I'm not looking to, I don't know what's going to happen with it, that kind of thing, right? Like if it's successful, great. If it's not, great, but it's something that I want to do. Other people have hobbies. I have work and giving back to the community. That's it. That's what I have. Other people go skiing or waterboarding or whatever. Like there's like all kinds of hobbies you can have, puzzles, reading, whatever it is. This is my hobby. And I love it. And I'm not ashamed to say so. And if anybody goes, oh, but you need a better hobby than that, prove it to me. Prove to me how my hobby that helps so many people is a bad hobby. It's fuck you. So this show is Forged to Man. project that I'm doing right now. It's not for the growth metrics. It's not a platform of noise, right? Like where you're going to hear about it, but it's not going to be in your face all the daggone time. It's a place for depth, for discipline. It's a place for men willing to look at themselves honestly. Like there's no space like that currently anywhere, right? And this is not expansion. This is just refinement. Like this new project that I'm creating is not me expanding. It's me refining what I'm doing. Right? It's me focusing on what I care about the most. So here's the question I want to leave with you today. Not for today, not for this week, but for the season of your life, the season that you're in. What are you holding on to that keeps you from going deep? What are you holding on to right now that has you widespread and it keeps you from going deep into what you believe in? Deep into what you really want to do. What are you afraid to finish right now in your life? Because finishing forces you to choose what's next. If you finish something, now it's what's next. And who are you becoming? Based on what you allow access to your energy, like who are you becoming? Who is the person that you are becoming? Because mastery isn't accidental and neither is distraction. Right? Both are chosen. So for me, this is not a goodbye. It's a clearing. And for you, you should look at what you can clear up. One more conversation remains. We're going to do one more Monday. And it'll close this chapter with intention, with respect, and with strength. Hope you know that. It's not going to be some sobby, sad thing because this is not a sad thing. I know some of you are going to miss the Monday calls. Cool. Don't worry about it, man. I'll be around. Just won't be as available as I have been. So I want to say thank you for being here. Huge. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for honoring the work. And thank you for having the courage to go deep into what we are talking about. And hopefully the courage to go deep into what you believe in. God bless you guys. See you next Monday.